Peace, everyone. What's up? If you guys hear like the noise, they're like cutting trees in the backyard. So hopefully it's not going to be too loud. But I am really excited to do this live today. I really enjoyed when I did the Uranus live, and we kind of talked about the houses and the signs and how we can utilize the planets to create and focus on wellness. And so I thought it was such a good idea that I would love to do that again. And I would love to do it when, we're focusing on, whatever planet is making some big moves, or, whatever the energy is going to show up, as well as doing it for new moon and full moons, just to kind of create some fun in our lives and kind of shake things up, do things a little bit differently, and also just kind of be aware of the energy that's in the planets so that we can co-create with the universe, as well as create the balance and the polarity between the mundane things that we have to do on a daily basis, like go to work, pay the bills, focus on other people. So the polarity within the wellness, to me, just means us making ourselves a priority, and just being fun and creative and expressing ourselves outside of all the mundane things that we have to do. So that's kind of how I look at the polarity. Polarity, if you guys don't know, it's really just... Oh, is that my phone? Yep. So the polarity, sorry y'all, my phone just dropped. So the polarity between, just making sure it's all good, because that was a hard drop. The polarity between responsibilities and creative expression. So how can we utilize the energy of the new moon to express ourselves differently and to, again, have fun creating new experiences within our lives? And so, I just thought that would be so fun. I pulled some cards for us to focus on. So I'm going to be utilizing the Moonology deck just to pull the the new moon in Aquarius and see what that energy is about. And then I also pulled from the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck, which I really like. I've been really enjoying this deck, and it's been really fun. So I wanted to do that with all 12 signs, just really just going through all the signs. I've kind of already plucked the cards and everything like that, only because obviously this energy is already set for us. So the only thing that I have to do is really just, go take a look at where the new moon is happening for each sign, and then just give the wellness suggestions for each of the signs. So the way that the lives are going to go moving forward, I do want to make this a thing on my channel. I'm so used to YouTube. I do want to make this a thing on my Instagram, where, again, like I said, I do it for the new moon, the full moons, and any planets that I feel, we can harness the energy for. So it's going to be something that's recurring, and I gave it a little name, I think, so we could all know what to look forward to when I am doing these lives. And it's I'm going to be naming it the CosmicWell Nook. So I just think that that's so cute. So this is going to be this technically is the second CosmicWell Nook live that we're doing to go ahead and see how we can use astrology to focus on the wellness polarity. And so, since I had already pulled the cards for this, the new moon that we are having, it's going to be on February 9th, and this new moon is in Aquarius. And so I pulled the I know you guys probably can't like see what it says and all that, but I pulled the new moon in Aquarius from the deck that I just showed you all. And the energy of this card says to bring love into the situation. So I thought that that was so fitting, especially since I'm going to be giving, you know, the wellness suggestions for each sign and how we can bring love and balance into the polarity of the mundane, you know, world, everyday, day-to-day life, right? So I thought that was cool. This is another look at the card. So cute. Okay. So I have, like I said, took the liberty of pulling the 12 signs already, along with the house that the new moon is going to be taking place in. And so how this is going to go is I'm going to basically give wellness suggestions, right? How we can utilize the energy of the house in order to create that balance within our wellness for ourselves, right? So that is going to be what this live is going to be about. I'm going to go through all 12 of the signs. And so what you can do is, normally when it comes to Western astrology, you would mainly focus on first your rising sign. And then after that, you can focus on like your sun and then your moon. But since I'm going to be utilizing the cards, it'll be easier for everyone to basically kind of, I guess, be able to timestamp and go through. Last time I did this, I did it based on what people were giving me their sign was. And so I think for it to flow a little bit more easier, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and just always have the cards pre-plugged for, you know, the new moon and the full moon, and how we are going to be utilizing that energy to create more wellness and balance in our lives. So I am so excited. Let's go ahead and get started. I just want to make sure that I do have everything here that I need, which I'm sure I do, because I did make sure. Why is this locked doing that? Because I did make sure that I pulled everything. So, all right, these are the cards. I'm going to show you guys the cards as well as I'm going through them. And before I start though, I want to make sure that we are all aware, like, how important wellness is. And it's not just, you know, I think that I kind of had a surface level idea of what wellness is, right? It's just, oh, you know, just eating, you know, good foods and, you know, creating some type of, you know, balance within, you know, your life. But wellness is it's so much more than just eating good food and maintaining like a healthy balance within the body. Wellness is about, you know, making sure that we maintain a healthy balance in our lives in general, within our souls, and trying not to basically take over everything and be in control of everything. Wellness is allowing things to flow and to come into fruition on our behalf, while, you know, setting the intentions that we basically have on a daily basis to be one with ourselves, one with our souls, and one with our creative expression, and not just focusing on everything that's external, but more so internal. So that's just a little bit about how I've been seeing wellness as more than just, you know, the few bullet points. And so that's why I believe that doing this is, you know, really fun and really beneficial in a way for us to kind of step outside of our comfort zone, or a way to just make sure that we are utilizing the energy of astrology, the planets and things like that to create and keep a balance and an equilibrium between the polarity of everyday life, mundane, you know, bills, and action oriented, and just creating the balance between coming back into a state of being, awareness, and compassion for ourselves, and and just creating that, like the card said, just basically bringing love into our situation and into our everyday lives. So yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So for the first sign, again, you can look at this as your sun, moon, or rising. So for Scorpio, this is the card for Scorpio. And with Scorpio, it is in the 4th house. The new moon is going to be taking place in the 4th house. And so this is the card for the 4th house here. And so these two cards, it says for Scorpio, it says investigate. And for the 4th house, of course, it says home. So the polarity here, right? Utilizing astrology to bring polarity into your home if you're a Scorpio. Scorpio moon, sun, moon, or rising. So how can you create a safe space in the home? Or if you do already have a safe space, what is something that you can do to shake things up a little bit as far as doing something new in the home and creating a cozy environment, right? Rejuvenating yourself within the home. And this is going to allow you to focus on the wellness within your home. So I kind of like that for Scorpio. If you would like to utilize the energy of the new moon over these next 28 days to create some type of, maybe some type of ritual that you do within your home, or maybe cleanse the home, right? Bring the balance back with some sage and some Palo Santo. And yeah, just cleanse the energy within the home in general. So I love that for Scorpio. And again, the new moon is taking place in the 4th house for you all. So the next sign we have is Capricorn. And this is the card for Capricorn here. And the keyword that they have is achieve. And then the 2nd house, which is about resources. So for Capricorn, the new moon is taking place in your 2nd house. So how you can bring the polarity of wellness to your 2nd house is making sure that you are, let's say making sure that your budget is good, right? Making sure that whatever type of self-care that you do for yourself over the next month, make sure that that is fit into your budget. Don't just neglect your well-being. If there's anything that you can do as far as figuring out resources to create a more balanced wellness life, right? So maybe a resource for you could be going to a class, to do something creative, or to even do something that just gets you out of your comfort zone a little bit. So that could be a good way for Capricorn to bring wellness into the stellium that is going to be within your 2nd house. So I like that as well. Hey. So the next sign that we have, a way to bring the polarity within the wellness of your 1st house. And so this is the card for the 1st house. And this is the card for Aquarius. So how can you bring polarity to 1st house? So the 1st house is, so the 1st house is all about self. It's all about your self image, everything that if there's any changes that, you know, you want to make personally, any type of self-development that you want to do for the new moon energy over these next 28 days, this is something that you can implement, right? Implement emotional well-being for yourself, physical well-being. Maybe, you know, well-being for you this month could be going to go get your hair done, going to go get your hair cut, right? Maybe it's been a little while since you've poured into yourself in order to give you, you know, some rejuvenation. Maybe it's getting yourself a massage as well. How can you bring the balance to your physical, emotional, and personal well-being? So I love that. That's a good way to utilize the energy of the new moon to bring some wellness into you, right? And so that was for Aquarius. So the next sign, how can you utilize the new moon in Aquarius to create a polarity, to create the equilibrium in the polarity of your 8th house? Oh, hey. Here I am. Make sure you take a screenshot or a save. Or DM me right now so you have it. I didn't do Virgo yet, no. So yeah, definitely DM me now so we can chat afterwards. Okay, so for Cancer, the way that you can bring equilibrium to the polarity of balance in your wellness routine is with the 8th house. So the 8th house is of mystery, right? The 8th house is everything that's internal. So maybe this new moon in Aquarius, we can focus on the love that you have deep down, right? Because the 8th house is about Pluto and the things that we probably can't see. So maybe focus on the love that you're not expressing to yourself, that love that's hidden. How can you create balance and giving yourself more grace, taking the mystery out of the love and the thought processes that you have surrounding, you know, your self-love and your well-being. I think that that's very, very, very important. The 8th house is, how can you also talk about things, right? Not necessarily therapy. I don't want to say therapy, but I would say mainly just how can you be more self-aware of the things that are deep within you to bring them to the surface in order for you to create better experiences, right? So that could be surrounding, like I said, emotional well-being, self-awareness, and just bringing the polarity back to whatever is deep within you that you haven't showcased in a while, and just creating a balance between everything. Okay? So, Pisces is next. Pisces, this is the card for Pisces. And this is, the new moon is taking place with a stellium in your 12th house. So the 12th house is a little similar to the 8th house. It is, I would say, like, just like the 8th house is a house of spirituality, the 12th house is as well. But the 12th house is more so about the expansion of your mind and like travel and experiences, right? So how can you utilize the new moon to bring wellness, polarity to your mindfulness, your mindful practices, meditation? Are you meditating enough, right? I know a lot of us, you know, we wake up every single day and we don't really focus on our spirituality and our mental well-being, our spiritual well-being. So for Pisces, the 12th house is asking you to create and balance out the polarity between the day-to-day mundane work that you do externally with taking care of yourself, and making sure that you are utilizing the energy to create well-being. Okay, that's really important. Honestly, the 12th house is literally about everything that I want us all to focus on, which is, you know, bringing, you know, the wellness and the wellness into our lives way more. Sorry guys, you guys know that I'm still new, I'm still learning this, so I am probably going to stumble a little bit, but it's all good. This is why I'm doing this often, right? So I can get good at it and understand the energies and things like that. Yes, I do. This is the deck here. Oh, it's due to bad connection. Okay. The cards are called Star Codes Astro Oracle. And I've been really loving this deck. It's so, I don't know. I just love this deck. And then I have pulled us a new moon as well. And so that's where this card came from, which is the new moon in Aquarius, which is the energy that we are focusing on for this new moon wellness polarity reading in the CosmicWell Nook. So yeah, let's see. The way that I use the deck is I'm really just, since I already know where the full moon is going to be. I mean, I keep saying full moon. Since I already know where the new moon energy is going to be for all the signs, I already pre-plucked the sign along with the house so that the live flows a little bit freely. But if you want to just use this normally, you can kind of use this to also focus on wellness the way that I'm doing. So, you know, if you want to maybe, like, for example, this is Leo, right? Leo, the card has a keyword that says shine. And Leo, the stellium for the new moon is going to be taking place in the 7th house. So the way you could do it is, how can you shine a light on relationships, right? To utilize wellness to shine light on your relationship. So that's kind of how I'm utilizing it for the lives. But, you know, if you get the deck, however it speaks to you is a way that you can kind of utilize the energy. So let's actually talk about Leo and the 7th house, right? How can you bring equilibrium to the wellness polarity in our lives? And the 7th house is about relationships. So it's about your romantic relationships. It's about your relationships with your coworkers, your relationships with clients. You could even throw in relationships with your family as well. So you can create equilibrium and wellness by nurturing those relationships, right? How can you better communicate with the people around you? What can you do to create wellness for them in their lives, right? Maybe, you know, they don't really take care of themselves the way that they should. And how can you assist them in providing the balance and the equilibrium between the polarity of everyday life and wellness? So that's a way that Leo, that's a way that Leo can utilize the energy of the new moon for the 7th house. Pour into your relationships, include them in your wellness activities. If you meditate, right, involve your partner, or if you know, anything that you like to do with wellness, yoga, or maybe go to a class, or maybe a journal, anything, involve someone that you are in a relationship with, whether that be romantic or platonic or business, right? Because that can even strengthen your business relationships. Just bring in some wellness to those connections. Okay, so the next sign we have is Aries. And Aries, this is the card for Aries. And Aries, the keyword here is act. And the new moon stellium is in Aquarius, is going to be taking place in the 11th house. And the 11th house is all about community and friendships and, you know, groups and organizations. So how can you, it's kind of a little bit about what we said, the same thing about relationships. How can you bring more wellness to the community? how can you utilize the things that you know that you do on a day-to-day basis, your well-being, your meditation, you connecting to your spiritual side? How can you create a community surrounding that, or how can you bring that energy to the community in order to create a polarity of, you know, balancing the wellness with the mundane things that the community does, right? How can you, or maybe your community is your family, right? Community is your friends. It could be anything. It could be your environment. It could be your neighborhood, right? How can you utilize the community, even your personal external community, to create wellness? Can you go outside and meditate, right? Can you share your meditation experiences with the community or the collective? Can you basically, what else? Can you also do something with your friends, right? Maybe you and your friends are just surface level. How can you bring and center action around wellness with your friends, doing it together versus doing it by yourself, right? So this is a way that you can utilize the stellium in Aquarius in the 11th house to bring wellness to this area of your life. So the next, sis, if you're still on, I am now doing Virgo. So Virgo, this is the card for Virgo. And Virgo, the new moon in Aquarius stellium is going to be taking place in your 6th house. And with the 6th house is all about your daily routine. So the 6th house is also connected to what I do here on my channel as well, because it's all about the day-to-day, right? It's all about creating balance. It's all about self-improvement. How can you create a balance in your work life? So with Virgo, it's asking you to focus the wellness around your day-to-day, if that's not something that you already do. And if you do, how can you change it up, right? How can you create new experiences within your wellness routine, within your day-to-day routine, within your work environment, within your health, right? Your eating habits. What are some ways that you can utilize this stellium to bring more awareness to your day-to-day life surrounding those activities? I know 6th house right now, I have been so focused on 6th house stuff. It's ridiculous. And, you know, me doing this live is me creating that balance within my day-to-day, within that 6th house stellium. So how can you create a balance between the things that you love to do and doing them on a daily basis, right? If that's not something that you already do. Maybe it's something that we utilize the energy for doing half the time. So how can we create that polarity between the mundane, as I was saying, of everyday, day-to-day life hustle, and bring the wellness back to 6th house activities, which is about day-to-day, balance, self-improvement, and also how can you prioritize your health practices and your spiritual rituals as well on a day-to-day basis. So that's a good way to utilize this for the new moon that's coming up in Aquarius. I'm still balancing this out now. I'm a new mom. Yes. So that card is perfect for you. So that's how you can utilize the energy to create wellness with the balance in your day-to-day with being a new mom. So I love that for you, and congratulations. So the next sign that we are on is Taurus, which is my sun sign. So Taurus, this is the card. And so the stellium that is happening with the new moon in Aquarius is happening in the 10th house. So the 10th house is all about career. And sorry, y'all. The 10th house is all about career. So how can you center wellness surrounding your career? Or maybe not your career, maybe it's your job, or maybe it's a business that you have. How can you bring wellness to this area of your life? Are you overworking, right? Are you not focused on the wellness part of, you know, what goes into pouring into yourself in order for you to cultivate, right? And to become that authority figure in your life? How can you create balance and equilibrium within the wellness of that polarity? Which is actually kind of fitting, right? So if you, let me see. I'm also looking at my notes too, y'all. Sorry. So if you, actually, that would really be it. How can you create more wellness and recognition? Not overworking yourself is a major thing, and making sure that you're creating balance to center around you becoming the best version of yourself within your business or at your job or within your career. Or how can you bring wellness back into your career? As far as, are you doing something that provides you with being able to create and keep that wellness balance and polarity within your life? Or is your job taking away from that? Yeah, so that's how Taurus can utilize the 10th house energy for the new moon in Aquarius. So the next is Sagittarius, which is my rising sign. So Sagittarius this is the card. And the stellium for Sagittarius for the new moon in Aquarius is taking place in the 3rd house. So how can we utilize the 3rd house to bring balance within our wellness? So we can do that by, the 3rd house is all about communication. So wellness is nothing but, you know, being able to communicate with yourself, being able to communicate with the universe, which is, you know, essentially what I am getting us to focus on when I am doing these wellness polarity. I don't know if I'm calling these a reading. What do you guys think? Are they like suggestions, or are these like actual readings? But yeah, how can we communicate maybe more wellness in our lives? So maybe we can do some journaling. Maybe we can create an online diary, like how, you know, I'm doing when I'm on my YouTube, right? How can we communicate with other people to create wellness? Maybe we don't speak up for ourselves as much, and that is one of the main things that creates I don't want to say the negative side, but the not so pretty side of the polarity between the mundane and the wellness that we have within our own selves, right? So how can we get our feelings out there to express ourselves? And if we're not able to express ourselves, then we're not really utilizing the wellness polarity in a positive way, because we're so confined to not communicating with ourselves or the universe or those people around us in a way that is beneficial to our well-being in our day-to-day lives, right? So that's a good way for a Sagittarius to utilize the new moon energy. How can you center your wellness around communication and making sure that you are making that a precedence for you? So the next sign is Libra, and the key word for Libra is balance. And the Aquarius new moon stellium is taking place in the 5th house. And everything is all about, Libra is about balance. So one thing a Libra should be doing is balancing the wellness polarity in their life. And so what's interesting is the 5th house. I love the 5th house because it's all about creativity, and it's all about how can we express ourselves creatively. So the new moon is asking Libras to create a balance between the mundane and creatively expressing yourself. So starting with this reading right here would be a good way for you to bring the balance back into your wellness. How can you create more? How can you do more playful activities in your day-to-day life? or maybe just for the next 28 days. What is something that you can challenge yourself to have fun with? If you're, if you're focused too much on the mundane, bring the wellness back to focusing on creativity, expressing yourself, and just being one with your creative side. And that's going to help in turn bring the balance of the wellness back into your life, because now you're focusing on the things that you like to do and not only focusing on everything that's so external. This is coming off as guided messages ahead of the new moon. Okay, so more of like messages. Okay, I like that. Thank you. So, oh my goodness, am I going fast? Because we are on the last sign. And the last sign is Gemini. So, Gemini, this is the card, and the keyword is cross-pollinate, which I'm still kind of learning what that means for the way that I'm going to be doing these readings. And the new moon in Aquarius, stellium, is going to be happening in the 9th house. So what is a good way for us to bring back the wellness polarity when it comes to the 9th house? The 9th house is all about traveling. It's all about expansion of the mind, expansion of the body, the soul, right? So if you can't physically travel within your neighborhood, because it doesn't always have to be, traveling to another country or another state. You can, bring wellness back into your life, bring a balance by getting to know your neighborhood, getting to know, what are some fun places in your neighborhood that you can go to experience expansion, right? To say, oh, you know what? I actually know, sorry, y'all. Who is it? Hold on one second, y'all. I'm sorry. Is there a way for me to pause this? I don't know if there's a way that I can pause this, but one second, y'all. So sorry, y'all. Oh my goodness. Someone knocked on the door. It's P.S I, and they need to get in my backyard and it's locked. But I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. So, which sucks because I really kind of still wanted some things to talk about when I was finished. But Gemini in the 9th house, I think I was saying, how can we expand, utilize wellness to to expand our now I got to get my thoughts back together, to expand our experiences, right? So expand the mind, body, and soul, right? So the 9th house is about traveling, right? So I talked about the fact that maybe you can get to know your local neighborhood, expand your horizons in that area, as well as how can you, because that'll also in turn expand your wellness activities, right? You never know. Like you can go to somewhere new in your neighborhood and maybe you see someone doing something, or maybe you overhear a conversation and, someone gives you an idea on how you can better expand your mind, body, and soul. So the 9th house is us focusing on the polarity of expanding ourselves in that area of our lives. So again, y'all, I'm so sorry about that. I thought that, going live at this time was a good thing. But yeah, so I have to go ahead and open the mundane. We were just talking about this, doing the mundane things, right? So I have to go and open up the door for PSE&G so that they can get in. But I really do hope that this was helpful, creating or understanding how to use astrology to kind of create some, balance within our lives, and especially in the wellness sectors of our lives, because it's super important for us to maintain balance and equilibrium. Again, focusing on the polarity of understanding that life is all about, go, 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 do, do, do. The masculine part of the external things that we focus on. And so utilizing astrology with wellness is for us to bring us back to a self-aware state, a state of us just being well. I want to learn about Astrology. I got you. I'm going to be talking about Astrology soon. And then, yeah, so it's also about us just coming together and making sure that we create a good balance between the wellness in our lives. So I intend that this was helpful for you all. Again, you can utilize this live by focusing on your sun, moon, or rising sign. And you can kind of put the energies together if you really want to challenge yourself and your wellness for this month, and your well-being and your self-awareness, and just bringing that creativeness back to your lives using astrology. So peace, everyone. I will see you all for my next live. And I don't want to really so much put a time span on my lives, because I just want to be able to flow. But when I am doing the new moon and the full moon, you can best believe that I will be coming at least 3 days, within the 3 days before the new moon or the full moon, to give you all these wellness readings. So we can focus on different aspects of our lives for these energies in the planet. So I'm so excited. Peace, everyone. I will see you all next time.